All right, we're back. UFC 300.
Are we live?
We're live, buddy.
We're live.
We got Jaybird back.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Iceman, the Ice Files. Special guest, Jaybird. Big card, boys. Huge card. UFC 300. Even I'm getting a little chub about this. The whole card is just, it's going to be astounding. We're going to be giving you some picks. We're going to be giving you some thoughts behind the picks. Maybe some underdogs. Stay tuned. You're going to hang. Enjoy yourself. Iceman, what are we doing here, brother?
This is the most stacked card ever. In my opinion. Ever. Of all time. Name me a card that's more stacked than this. Go ahead.
It has to be like UFC 200, but at that time, we got way more superstars here, way more quality fights.
Dude, this is way better, in my opinion.
A lot of money to be made. A lot of money.
Yeah, so this is the big one. So let's start from... Let's go from the main event, because this is the big one, right?
Main event, Jamal Hill, yeah?
Jamal Hill taking on your boy Poatan, Alex Pereira.
Okay.
So obviously, looking at the fight, this is going to be a striking match, obviously, right? No one here likes to take the fight to the ground. You got two strikers, perfect, and the odds are pretty even.
Let me ask you a question, though. Mm-hmm. Who's the better striker?
Technically, it's not even close. Alex Pereira is the much better striker.
Okay. Now, you guys are going to have to excuse my ignorance. I took a break from watching the UFC for a bit. I had some family stuff I had to do, and I just, work and all that stuff. This Jamal Hill cat, I don't know much about him, but apparently he won the heavyweight championship.
Light heavyweight.
Or the light heavyweight championship.
Big Teixeira.
Off of Teixeira. I don't know where the hell I was. I was, at work when that happened. And then he got injured.
No, remember we watched the fight when he knocked out Johnny Walker. Remember?
I remember
Johnny
that.
Walker, flew back.
Yes, he was
was
off the
goofy.
ground this much.
Yeah, exactly.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
And this Jamal Hill, he doesn't have the body of a.
He's lean.
Yeah.
He's lean, 6'4".
So apparently the guy can throw down. He's got 7 fights, 7 finishes, or something like that.
I think he's on a nice little win streak, for sure.
Hey, the guy, they don't hand those belts out, bro. He freaking earned it. Teixeira, is gonna hold on to that as long as he could have, and God bless him.
This is gonna end in KO, I believe. If this was a sparring match, it would be Alex Pereira piecing him up all day, right? I think Alex Pereira is much better technically. He's got much more experience as a striker. But I'm just worried about one thing, his chin. He doesn't seem to have the greatest chin. He got knocked out by a middleweight. And even his last fight against Yuri hurt him a little, you know what I'm saying?
You were telling me that. I do remember watching Poatan wobble. You're right. That does worry me. Because honestly, if Iceman didn't remind me of that, I'd be like, oh, Pereira all day.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy looks like an Easter Island frickin' statue. He was put on this earth to destroy, right? That quick left hook, I think that left hook is going to win him another fight.
It could.
People know it's coming. People are scared. They train for it. It's a God-given gift, and he's just perfected it. I'm going to go with Poatan. I'm not going to bet as much as I would because of Iceman's cautionary warning there. About he did get wobbled, and this Jamal Hill could go bop, 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 bop. Nice little 5-piece to the chin. Game over, get him wobbled. I don't know. I'm going to bet Poatan because I'm not betting against somebody that looks like he's a flipping caveman in 2024. The guy looks like he was put on this earth to kick people in the head and do that left hook. That left hook, I don't think you guys understand how important that is. Even if he doesn't use it, it's still in the thought of his opponent. He's like, I can't move this way because of that left hook, and that's gonna play. That's the striking game. It's gonna be a banger. Who do you got?
He looks like the fucking king warrior of some native Indian tribe. You know what I'm saying?
The Aztec warrior over here.
The Aztec was the last guy, the final boss.
Do you remember the first time you seen him? I remember I was watching. You and I were watching a UFC event, and they were just introducing Poatan in the background. I remember looking in the background, and he was in the back. I go, who the fuck is this guy? Just standing there 6'3" with the jaw this big, just no expression. I'm like, and then who's gonna bet against him? And okay, so
I'm taking Jamal Hill.
Are you really?
And I'm telling you why.
Okay. Yeah, explain.
There's a reason why odds are so close. Right? And Alex Pereira, he's been knocked out, man, and he got flatlined by a middleweight. in Israel Adesanya.
Can
And I know, oh yeah, he cut a lot of weight to make middleweight, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because look at Volk. He took that fight on 2 weeks' notice.
Poor Volk.
He was never the same again.
Poor
So you
Volk.
get flatlined, you're never the same. Your chin is never the same.
So
Jamal Hill, I've never seen this guy ever get hurt. Obviously, Poatan might change that, but I'm taking Jamal Hill because I think Pereira's chin is a little suspect, and I think if Jamal Hill catches him, he hits a lot harder than Izzy. I'll tell you that right now. He might not be as technical as Izzy, but he hits harder.
Your points are valid. Your points are valid, and that is a good reason to bet Jamal Hill.
Why it's almost even odds.
But I'm gonna. Okay, he's coming off a layoff. Yes, Jamal Hill.
Yeah, Achilles.
Achilles. That's a big one. So he was out for at least a year.
Yeah.
How many fights has Poatan had in the year? 2?
A couple, yeah.
So he's warm.
Yes.
He's sharp. He's ready to go.
But also maybe the chin doesn't recover. Maybe
Chin barely never recovers,
that's
right?
What I mean. So maybe Jamal Hill,
I hope he doesn't just
we'll
fucking
see.
walk up in there like this shit, man.
Yeah.
He's who am I to say? He's like, it's Poatan. It's Alex Pereira. I mean, I'm gonna bet him. Like, I'm not betting against Jamal Hill. I'm betting for Poatan. I can't stop calling him Poatan. That's a great name.
Great.
What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
No, I forgot.
In Brazilian? Aztec warrior or whatever? Yeah. That's who I'm taking. He's taking Jamal Hill. You got to remember, the layoff of Jamal Hill is over a year.
I'm going to call him Jamahal.
Jamahal,
because that's how his name's spelled, so I
Okay, let's pronounce it correctly. Jamahal.
No, it's actually Jamal, but
Jamal?
I prefer Jamahal.
J Hill, my boy.
His parents fucked up on the spelling, so I'm going to fuck up on the pronunciation. All right, next one's Wang Zhili taking on Yan Xiaonan.
Okay, it's China versus China, yes?
Yeah, I'll go with Zhang Weili. Who cares about that one? Next one, your boy Justin the Highlight Gaethje taking on Max Blessed Holloway.
Right.
Wow.
Can I take this for a second here? You mind? Okay, so if you've been watching the Ice Files, and I come in every once in a while, I am the greatest, biggest Highlight Gaethje fan there is. But I'm also a Max Holloway fan. Okay. Can Max Holloway beat Dustin Poirier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can Max Holloway...
Like, they fought a long time ago.
Damn. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with the Highlight, but I can't bet with my emotions, is what I'm saying.
The Highlight is a huge favorite, minus 200. The last time I checked, it was minus 225.
Okay, so right here is a perfect example of, like, betting on a dog. If you're going to bet on a dog, why not bet one of the... first off, he's a former champion, yeah? Okay. Second off, he was cutting a lot of weight to become, 145 champ?
Yep.
Best boxer UFC, baby! Okay? The guy knows how to throw. So does the Highlight. However, I do think Holloway's a little bit more technical. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's the better... He does have better technique in his boxing. I think Gaethje's got better leg kicks for sure.
Oh, the leg kicks.
Also, I think Max Holloway's got a better gas tank. He does push a pace. Gaethje tends to slow down a little, right? Especially, I've seen him slow down a little, take some deep breaths. I've never seen Max Holloway take a deep breath in a fight, bro.
Cardio factor to Holloway, for
But
sure.
that being said, I don't think Justin Gaethje's going to be knocking out Max Holloway.
Why not?
Because he's never even been knocked down. He's fought everybody.
Those damn Hawaiians, huh?
There's these Samoans. They got that crazy iron chin.
Yeah.
And they can't get knocked out.
However,
he's never fought Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje got the densest bones in the UFC.
Yeah.
Right. So when he kicks your leg, he don't feel it as much as you're gonna feel it. That's a tough one, man. I love both these fighters. They're both great. I'm going with Justin the Highlight Gaethje. That's my boy.
I think Justin Gaethje's going to win the first 2, maybe 3 rounds. But I think Holloway might push the pace on him round 4 and 5. Those are Holloway's rounds.
Keep in mind, this is for the BMF title, yes?
Yep. So it's a 5-rounder.
No, Gaethje. I'm going with Gaethje.
You got Gaethje. You got the big favorite. I'm going to go with the over on this one. Fuck's sakes. I'm going to go with the over. But I want Max to win.
Oh, you're not even going to bet a fight. You're going with the over.
I'll go with Max for my fighter, but I think...
But you're also betting that it goes over.
Yeah, I'm betting over.
I'm taking that as well. I'm going to take that it goes over 2.5 rounds.
I haven't seen the odds on the over 2.5. They haven't dropped it on my site yet, but that's a money one for me. Over 2.5, I think that's a no-brainer. I don't think Justin Gaethje's knocking out Holloway, and I don't think Holloway is going to be knocking out Gaethje, especially early on. He might, put a pace on him, and finish him that way. But man, a lot of people are counting out Max Holloway. You do not count out Max
Never.
Holloway.
No
and
way.
This is
No
going to be
way.
a striking match, right?
Yeah.
If he was fighting Khabib and the takedown's there, his grappling's not as good. Obviously, I'd count him out in that scenario. But I'm going with my boy Blessed on this one. The Blessed Express.
Blessed Express. And that over, that's, in my opinion, that's like an 80% it's going to happen. I'm going to bet a fair deal that it's going to go over 2.5 rounds. It's a great bet. I agree. Iceman agrees. He's the statistician. I'm a fan. I do see it going at least 3-4 rounds for sure.
But this one, out of every fight on this card, I'm looking towards this one the most.
Which one's this?
Charles do Bronx Oliveira taking on Arman Tsarukyan.
Okay,
I'm looking on this fight. I'm looking forward towards any other fight on this card. This fight I want to see more than any other fight.
Okay.
Even more than the BMF. Even more than the main event.
Before we get started into this, because like I said, I've been out of the game a bit. Explain to me why Arman Tsarukyan is on such a hot roll and why he gets to fight Oliveira, who in my opinion
knocked out Beneil Dariush in the first round. And Beneil Dariush was, he was ranked top 3 at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Charles Oliveira just coming off a win over Dariush as well, right?
True.
They both finished him. However, Arman Tsarukyan did it more convincingly, and I'm more impressed with Arman Tsarukyan and the things he's been able to do. I think his grappling, top game is probably better than Oliveira. Obviously, off his back, jiu-jitsu, submissions. Obviously, we go for Oliveira. But Arman Tsarukyan, in my opinion, has the better chin.
Yeah.
He's got the better striking. And he's got the better wrestling. Obviously, the jiu-jitsu will go for
You think he's
Oliveira.
got better striking than Du Bronx, huh?
It's different. I think he...
Du Bronx is psycho, though.
Yeah, Du Bronx does have good striking. But I think Arman Tsarukyan, he's got the better chin, is what I'm trying to...
Yeah. Okay.
I think if they both take one to hit one, land
like
one...
if they both hit
one. You know what I mean? I think Charles goes down. His chin has been cracked so many times. Arman Tsarukyan is fresh, man. His chin has not been cracked.
I would like to see, you know what? I could see Oliveira getting him in a plum and just kneeing him. I really could.
Obviously, he could. But if he gets him in that plum, he better be watched out for the takedown.
So you're going for Tsarukyan?
I'm going Tsarukyan all day. He's one of
my
bets.
All day?
Yeah, all day. I think he's just going to destroy Oliveira.
Jeez.
And I can't wait for that. I think he destroys Oliveira.
I can't really go against Oliveira, my man.
You got all Du Bronx.
I love the Bronx, but you're so sure on Tsarukyan, I'm not going to bet heavy. Okay, here. Because I don't want to pick. What do you think? Over, under?
Under.
You think under 2.5?
Under 2.5. I think Arman finishes him in the first or second.
Okay, I'll go with that then. Because, fuck.
You remember that fight with Gaethje and Oliveira?
I
remember
do.
Gaethje dropped him a couple times?
Yeah.
Gaethje drops him a couple times.
Yeah.
Right? What did he fuck up on? He didn't engage the guard. He lets him up to stand up and recover. Hey, I just knocked you down.
That's right.
Hey, why don't you come up and recover? Take some time, recover.
Yes, I remember that.
Arman Tsarukyan, if he drops you, he's coming right into your guard.
He's
diving
in.
And he's going to finish you. And that's the difference.
I see what you're saying. You know what? You might have changed my mind. Du Bronx has been in this game for what?
Since he's 19?
Since he's 19, okay? He's been the champ twice. He's definitely one of the most exciting fighters ever. And again, we always say don't bet with your emotions. You know what? You've swayed me. You have swayed me. I'm going to go with Arman Tsarukyan.
Arman Tsarukyan is the guy.
You swayed me. I'm going with Arman Tsarukyan.
Up next, we got Nickal versus Cody Brundage. This is the first fight on the main card. It should not be. You got guys like Yuri Prochazka, who's fighting below him, Deiveson Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. These are all former champions. Holly Holm. They're all before him. This is actually just, it's a little disrespectful, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they got a lot of hype on the kid. They're trying to push this kid, and don't get me wrong, he's insane.
He's minus 1,400?
No, minus 3,000 on this. Minus 3,000. That's one of the biggest favorites ever.
I seen it. I checked it a few days ago. He was minus 1,400. Now he's minus 3,000. That's... Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And who's he fighting?
No name, Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is going to get starched. Do we even need to tell you who we're taking on this one?
So I would bet not on the fighter. I would bet either it's gone in 60 seconds or you have that option to bet. Like someone loses in the first minute, which is very possible. That's a solid bet. But definitely, I'm betting that the fight ends in round 1, and you're still probably only going to get like minus 300 or something, or minus 500. But that would be a good anchor, as we call it. Bo Nickal would be a good anchor for like another parlay. So like you want to parlay Tsarukyan with Bo Nickal. That's a good little gimmick, right? You might make a little bit of money there, you know. It's what we're all about here. We're not about favorites and shit. We're here about money. It's all about money. It's all about the green. That's all it is.
So obviously, Bo Nickal, we're both taking as.
Well, I mean, I'm taking them. Fight ends in round 1 for sure.
Next up, Yuri Prochazka taking on Alexander Rakic. So Rakic is coming off that leg injury, and he's taking on your boy Yuri Prochazka, who's coming off, you know, in my opinion, a short stoppage, early stoppage against Alex Pereira. He got dropped. He got hurt.
Yeah, he was.
But in my opinion, title fight. He was still moving.
Right.
He was still trying to recover. And
Prochazka is a little bit of a weirdo. Okay.
Super weird guy.
Super weird guy.
Got that samurai hand.
He likes to sit in the woods and talk to trees and shit. He's reading like a little too deep into like the Warriors way and all that shit. It's 2024. We have technology. We have things. And I agree with the Warriors way and all that stuff. And that's his. But it's too gimmicky at this point. Mm-hmm. Is he good? Absolutely. But is he like top notch? Like, no, not really. I think he's like, give him 2 good finishes and he just breaks through the crust and he can be in another title fight for sure. But I don't like him.
No, you never did.
I never did. I don't like him. I don't like the way he fights. He has his hands low. He has them up. He's all fucking all over the place. I don't really like for me, I don't know. Whatever.
So dead even odds, this one is a tough one to pick. I'm sort of leaning towards Prochazka at first, but then, you know, coming off that loss, and I don't know where his head's at. Rakic is for real, but, you know, he's coming off an injury, so we don't know how he's going to look either.
How old is Rakic?
Rakic is 32, Yuri's 31, so we're around the same age.
Okay, so 32, you can still recover quite well.
This is going to be exciting too, by the way, stand-up fight.
Yes, it'll be a stand-up, and do you think it's going over or under 3 rounds?
I think over.
I'm going to bet over.
I think over
I'm going to take Rakic and over. It's going to be a separate bet.
Uh-huh.
I'll bet like X amount of dollars that Rakic wins, and it'll go over 2.5 rounds. That's my bet.
I think Rakic is going to take this.
Yeah, so I looked at this because personally, I think Yuri Prochazka is a little bit inflated. You know, remember when John Jones was on a tear? He's just tearing through everybody, and they do the UFC embeddeds. They try to build up his opponent, like, oh, I do this and that, and who's that guy Reyes? Oh, I'm the guy to do it, and I almost did it. Fucking starch, bro. Like don't buy into the hype is what I'm saying. Like, they're trying to sell you this guy, Warriors way and Kung Fu cool haircut and I bow even though I'm white and all that shit. Like, it's a gimmick. I'm not buying it. Rakic, the real deal. The first time I seen this guy fight, I'm like, this guy's a problem for anyone. So you and I are both in agreement.
We're in agreement.
Rakic and over in the same bet.
Yep. Next one. Calvin Kattar taking on Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain moving up in weight.
Oh, good for him.
Moving to featherweight.
Good for him.
Taking on Calvin Kattar.
So 145, yes?
145. Aljamain Sterling minus 160 currently against Calvin Kattar plus 135. So not a big favorite.
I'm interested in this one.
I'm interested in a lot because can he take Calvin Kattar down? Because I don't think he wants to box with Kattar.
Fuck
Kattar
no.
can box.
Fuck no.
And Aljamain, if you guys don't know, he just got knocked out his last fight.
So he's going to play real snug and it's UFC 300.
He's going to try to grapple.
And he's going to try to grapple and hold and hug. And if he does, you're fucked. This one, I like Kattar. He's a smart fighter. Personally, I think he's a smart fighter. His hands are fast, they're hard. He's, again, fight IQ. I'm not saying that Aljamain ain't a smart fighter. Former champion. I love Aljamain Sterling. But in this fight in particular, could be wrong. This one I'm not betting heavy, but I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm going to take Kattar. And I don't know what round he's going to win. It might even go the full 3. I might even bet that it goes the entire 3 rounds, pardon me. I keep saying 5. I might bet that it goes all the way to decision, And then if it goes to decision, definitely I think Kattar would win a decision. Who do you think wins a decision? That would be the question to ask.
Yeah, I think that if it goes to decision, it might be Aljo because of the grappling.
Really?
He's able to grind it out.
We're ready to stall.
Because I don't see Aljo having a shit game plan this time and, just trying to strike with the striker. Clearly, I hope he's learned from the last fight that you were a jiu-jitsu guy. Take the fight to the ground. You've submitted super high-level guys. Submitted
he's so
Corey
good.
Sandhagen in the first round.
He is so good.
Out-grappled Henry Cejudo, but all of a sudden you're a striker now against, another striker. So hopefully he learned from the last one. But I'm going to go with Kattar on this one. Because Aljo's not the smartest guy out of the bunch.
Yeah, so due to fight IQ, I'm going with Kattar. And also, he's got them hands.
Yep, so we're taking the underdog on that one.
Yeah, that's a good underdog pick, I would figure. And there was another good underdog pick on there.
So Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison.
Yeah. We don't bet women fights.
Diego Lopez taking on Sadiq Yusuff. I respect the women's fights, but I just don't watch it as I do the men's sports. But this one, have you seen Diego Lopez? This guy, he's a guy that came over from combat jiu-jitsu, and he is insane. His first fight in the UFC.
Sadiq?
No, that's Super Sadiq. He's taking on Diego Lopez.
Okay, Lopez and looking. That's the guy with the hair and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's a killer,
insane,
bro. Dude, I'm taking him. I'm taking him.
Yeah.
I'm taking him.
Diego
I seen him
Lopez.
fight one time.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy is a champion.
Dude, he got a flying triangle in his last fight. Who's getting flying triangles in MMA, bro? Flying triangles in MMA?
What are the odds on him?
He's only minus 135.
I'm taking that all day to the bank, and I'm gonna bet heavy on that one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're going Diego Lopez.
Diego
Super
Lopez.
Sadiq Yusuff. He took Edson Barbosa's last fight. Looked really good in the first round, but then he got caught, and Edson Barbosa.
No, the guy with the hair and shit, and he looks like he's built, and he's like a model. That guy is a killer. I remember watching him going, how do I not know this guy? So.
Yeah.
Diego
Lopez, he's the guy to take. Jalen Turner, Renato Moicano, I'll go with Jalen Turner. We don't really care about that fight too much. The next one, though, your boy, the king, Bobby Green versus Jim Miller.
We were talking about this.
Jim Miller's an underdog. Last time I checked, Bobby Green is minus 200, 2-1 favorite.
Okay,
disagree on that one.
Those of you at home, he and I were talking on the phone before we decided to go online and do this, and he said save it for the video, so I'm gonna be saving it. I'm taking Jim Miller. Why? This is gonna be his 42nd fight. He can knock you out. He can triangle you. He can go 5 rounds. He is so battle tested. Bobby Green, love Bobby Green. He's great. Not a fan of how he keeps his hands low. Really don't like that.
It's going to work well if Jim Miller's trying to take him
I mean,
down.
he could win in a decision, right? This is like, this is a good fight. This is a really good fight, on one of those UFC fight nights. This would be the main event.
Yep.
This is a great fight, and I just think that Miller is close. He might retire soon, so he's putting everything, like the last bit of gas, he's going in. I'm going to bet Miller. He's minus 130 or plus?
No, he's plus 160 right now.
Plus 160. So he's a dog. So he's a dog. Remember I said there's a lot of good dogs in this, right?
He might be one of them.
So I'm betting like light medium on Miller. I'm not like emotionally attached to Miller. I'm not emotionally attached to Bobby Green. Fan of both of them. But something is telling me Miller. Something. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And that's what I'm going to do. And I could see this go all 3 rounds.
Let's do it.
What do you think? What are you doing?
So, I want Jim Miller to win. He's a legend. He's been on UFC 100, UFC 200, and now he's on UFC 300.
And he looks great, by the way.
UFC 400, he'll be 50, and he'll still be on that one. The guy is insane. I used to watch him when it was him and his brother, Dan Miller, OG in the game. Unfortunately, after his daughter passed, he just didn't look the same. But, Bobby Green is a bad matchup for Jim Miller, in my opinion. Why? He does keep his hands low, right? But that's going to work well against him when Jim Miller's trying to take him down. And Bobby Green has very good takedown defense, right? He's got good takedown defense, so I'm thinking he's going to be able to sprawl and brawl. This fight is going to be on the feet. And I think if you're going to be on the feet, I think Bobby Green is slightly the better striker out of the two. I think he's better than Jim Miller at striking. Now, I don't think he's better at mixing it. I think Jim Miller's the better grappler. But, age 40, man. Jim Miller's age 40.
You bring up some really good points.
And there's a reason why odds makers have him at -200.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Miller light. I'm gonna bet light on him. Miller light, get it? Miller light. I'm gonna bet light on Miller because he is a dog, and
He has been looking good though.
Yeah.
He has been looking good
Yeah,
as of
and
recently, and Bobby Green's coming off a vicious knockout loss.
There you go. So his chin ain't the way that it is,
Yeah.
and you know Bobby Green is just happy to get paid. Like I'm sure he wants to win, but he wants to. He's not a legacy fighter like Jones, like Khabib, like Saint Pierre. He's not a legacy fighter. He's like a pay me fighter, and much respect to that. You know,
almost 50 pro fights.
Damn, dog.
Almost, yeah. Like these guys are getting up. Both of their fights per career is close to almost 100. Like over 80 between both of them. That's almost 100 pro fights between two guys here.
Do you see this going all the way?
I could see this fight.
I see this going all the way. I'm gonna bet.
Going to decision, yeah.
I'm gonna bet Miller light. Okay, Miller light. But I'm also gonna bet that it goes 5 rounds. See,
3 rounds.
Or pardon me, 3 rounds. See, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put money on probably BetUS and use that code. I bet BetUS is Iceman.
BetUS promo code Iceman.
BetUS promo code Iceman. They give you 50% more.
No.
I've been
125% deposit bonus on your first initial 3 deposits.
No. Say that again.
Yeah, so 125% bonus on your first initial 3 deposits.
So I'm gonna put $100 in BetUS,
and they'll give you 125% bonus, so $125.
And I can do that 3 times.
You can do that 3 times. There's only a gambling website in the business that does that. Everyone else is just one.
Yeah, everyone else is just one. BetUS really trying to step it up, and you know,
we are, buddy.
Props to BetUS, man. Holy shit! And promo code is Iceman, and you can do it 3 times. That's gangster.
Big boy shit.
Okay.
So you got Jim Miller.
Yeah.
You got the over. I'm taking Bobby Green, and I think.
Okay, can I just say one more question about this BetUS? Okay. A lot of people are loyal to their gambling sites because they know that they're going to get paid, right? You know, you're giving your credit card money to some unknown, right? How can you assure that, like, I know that Iceman...
They're legit, like, legit as it gets.
Okay, so how long is the payout? Like, UFC 300 ends, you win 700, how long until you get paid out?
2 business days.
2 business days, just like Betway,
just like
Bet365. So they're trying to get it up there. They don't have the name recognition just yet. But, okay, so there you go. So BetUS, code Iceman, that's pimping, man. You could do it 3 times. I like that a lot.
All right, so let's end it off here. We got the last, it's actually the first fight of the night.
The first one, yeah.
Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Cody, no chin Garbrandt.
Cody, gust to win.
Honestly, I've been so impressed with Figueiredo at 135. What he did to Rob Font was super impressive. He hits hard. The cardio looks better. Chin looks better. I think he's going to completely destroy Cody Garbrandt.
I agree.
I think he's going to finish Cody Garbrandt in the first or second.
I think he's going to start Garbrandt, but hear me out. What is Garbrandt right now?
Plus 240.
Plus 240. Now, we all know Garbrandt can crack, okay? Right? Okay? This right here is my number 1 underdog pick. Because you're getting, like, Figueiredo is going to slaughter him. But there is also a 10% chance that Garbrandt might just move this way, move that way, and just whap, and knock him out, man. These guys are fighting at 135 or 145 ice?
135.
135, and you have to have serious power to knock somebody out at 135. And Garbrandt has that, and so does Figueiredo. But for an underdog, so like if I bet $20, I'm going to win what? 50 or something like that? Like, yeah. In my opinion, I don't expect him to win, but that is my number 1 underdog pick. He's a former champion. He knows what he's doing. He has no chin. We all know that. Figueiredo, he might come in a little too aggressive, and Garbrandt, I think he's kind of like a counter fighter, counter puncher. This might go Garbrandt's way, maybe, hopefully. I'm giving him a 10% shot, so I'm betting very light personally. But
yeah, I'm going Figueiredo all day. I think Figueiredo is going to crush him. I think
understood. He's
just been looking much better. Even though Cody Garbrandt's got a couple wins under him, but he's beaten, Brian Kelleher. less guys that aren't on the same level of a Figueiredo, and I was just super impressed with Figueiredo's last performance.
Absolutely.
Against Garbrandt, so
Absolutely.
there's your picks. UFC 300. Tune in. We're gonna do some live reactions.
Ooh, the reactions would be
do it,
dope.
bro.
Let's do some
All right,
reactions.
bro. Thanks,
Hey,
bro. Thanks,
I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Iceman for inviting me. You know I love you guys. You know, Iceman I got love for, and you know, let's all just remember when we first started this shit, and you know, it's all about making money. Let's just fucking make some money together, guys. Let's do it. Use the code Iceman. Get that 125%. And like, let's make some fucking money.